Well, the first homestand of 2023 wasn't bad, but it certainly could have been a heck of a lot better. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Handstone Media, and today we're going to be recapping the Phillies homestand. 6 games, 3 against the Cincinnati Reds, and 3 games against the Miami Marlins. Now, guys, before we get into this video, please subscribe if you haven't not yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. I'm left disappointed. I am left very, very disappointed. A game that should have been won today, and this should have been a 5-1 homestand. This should have been a 5-1 homestand, and I really don't want to be the kind of guy to come on here and just be so grouchy and just so negative all the time, but it's hard not to be negative. You should have won the game on Sunday afternoon against the Cincinnati Reds, we'll get into that. You should have won the game this afternoon against the Miami Marlins, and you failed to do so. So it's incredibly frustrating. I understand, teams are going to blow leads. It's just going to happen. This is frustrating. I can't stand. We've seen it way too many times where this Phillies team has let leads slip away, and they've let potential wins slip away. But it's hard not to be frustrated. It is so hard not to be frustrated about this team. And hopefully they can take care of business. 4 games in Cincinnati, that should be pretty good. I mean, sometimes we struggle when we play there, though. So, we can't let our guard down. And 3 games against the Chicago White Sox should be interesting. But you should have done more. You should have done more, especially after that rough road trip to start the year. You could have easily had a 5-1 homestand. Easily. And you didn't do it. I mean, honestly, arguably, they could have won the game last night. They could have won the game last night. It's so aggravating. I mean, the base running was absolutely horrible. Just terrible fundamentals by this Phillies team. Horrible. And I'm tired of seeing Christian Pache out there. Just to kind of get into this little recap here, of course, the Phillies should have played Cincinnati Reds last Thursday, but the game was postponed. Instead, it was played on Friday. And, of course, we did host the NL pennant flag. Of course, defending National League champs, your Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, Rhys Hoskins was out there in crutches. That was just heartbreaking. So it was nice to see Trey Turner get a nice standing ovation in this ball game. And hey, we showed the whole town fans a win as we pulled this one out 5-2. Of course, JT Muto with that big 2-run home run in this one. Kyle Schwarber also driving in a run on a double. Kyle Schwarber, I mean, that was his only hit of the ball game, but it certainly, was a big one for the Phils. And Trey Turner in his first game at Citizens Bank Park as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies has had plenty of games at the bank as a member of the Nats, of course. Collects 2 knocks as well. Zach Wheeler at 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. It wasn't his best, but it certainly wasn't bad. Bullpen held in there, and Jose Alvarado was absolutely fantastic, striking out the side there in that 1 inning. And this was a great way to come back from that 1-5 road trip to start off the year. I mean, the hometown fans were hoping for something better. And they got it. So the Phillies beat the Reds 5-2 to start off their first game at Citizens Bank Park. And then on Saturday, the Phillies pulled one out. They 1-run victory, 3-2. The Phillies were able to come back. Of course, it wasn't some huge comeback, but they were down 2-0. And then they would come back and win 3-2. So a nice 1-run victory for the Phils. Brandon Marsh with an RBI single. Emilio Sosa with some fundamental baseball on a sacrifice fly. And Bryson Stott walking it off. Second game at the bank of the year for the Phils, and they finish it with a walk-off fashion. Bryson Stott, who has been great to start off this year. We'll talk about him a little bit later. I don't have a ton of time in these videos because I am limited to 15 minutes, but I tell you what, man, Bryson Stott has looked fantastic. I mean, even if you have not really been able to catch up on what the Phils have been doing this year, Bryson Stott has really played good baseball. He has looked fantastic. So it was nice to come back and win this one. And Bailey Falter, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, a run was earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. That was a great performance. That's what he's going to give you. 5 innings, and he went out there and allowed the offense, more than just allowed the offense to do their job. Fantastic work by Bailey Falter, and the bullpen held in there despite Vasquez allowing that run in the top of the 9th inning, allowing that run to make it 2-0 Reds, and we have a 3-run bottom of the 9th inning to come back and win. So a nice 1-run victory, a nice come-from-behind victory. It wasn't like we sped those 3 runs out. It was all in the bottom of the 9th. And then on Sunday, do I even dare to bring up what happened on Sunday? This is a game that the Phillies had in the bag. They had the brooms in the closet with the door door open, and then somebody shut the door, and the Phillies couldn't get the door back open. I mean, come on. Had this in the workings here. You could have easily won this game, but Seranthony Dominguez couldn't locate his stuff, and then, of course, he has to allow a ringing double for 3 runs to score. So this was a major blow for the Phils. This was by far probably my least favorite loss so far this year. You should have had the broom. You should have had the broom. Hopefully we could maybe do it this weekend. It's going to be tough in a 4-game series. Nick Castellanos, even though he has not homered yet this season, they would have driving a run to make it 1-0 Phils in this ball game. So doing some damage against his former squad. Of course, the Phillies would lose this one 6-4. They had a 4-3 lead heading into the top of the 9th inning with Seranthony Dominguez on the mound. Oh my gosh. It's so frustrating, man. It is just so frustrating. Jake Fleury, unfortunately, hit a bases clearing double, and then Seranthony Dominguez with 1 out, strikes out the next 2, and the inning is over. Like, you couldn't have done that before? Like, oh my gosh, man. I mean, he just couldn't locate his pitches, and he's looked really not good at all to start off this 2023 season. Not at all. Trey Turner, he was fantastic for the first 7 games of the season, did not have a good day on Saturday, and he really didn't have a good day on Sunday. Really bad performance by Trey Turner, unfortunately. Hey, everybody's kind of having about that. It's okay. Bryson Stott continued to stay hot in this one. Taijuan Walker, 4 2/3, 3 hits. 2 runs, the 2 were earned, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts. I mean, we struggled with our command in this game so badly. So badly. We walked 9 as a team. I mean, it just can't happen. Seranthony Dominguez with 2, and he deserved to get smacked with a loss. Deservingly. So deservingly. Horrible. I'm still mad at him. I'm still mad at him. Come on, another guy he's been looking very washed. Looks like a washed-up signing by Dombrowski. So this is a game that the Phillies let slip away. And they failed to get the job done. And this one still hurts, especially when you lose 2 out of 3 in the Marlins. I understand sometimes you're just going to blow one in the lead. That's going to happen. But I tell you what, today's loss wouldn't have hurt so badly if we would have taken care of business on Sunday. I'm just going to say that. So Phillies lose the finale 6-4, and then the Miami Marlins come to town, and then the bats wake up. I mean, not that they were like really asleep anyway. I mean, we were still scoring like 4 runs a game. But 15-3. I mean, this was a blowout, ladies and gentlemen. Gene Segura returns to Philadelphia. Got a pretty nice standing ovation. But of course, as soon as he dug in that batter's box, of course, we want to get him out. I think that just goes without saying. But I mean, Alec Boehm, and Bryson Stott have looked so good here in 2023. Alec Boehm with some power, finally, and he's doing it to all fields. He's not just poking singles to right field. He is hitting the baseball with authority. He has a lot of torque in that swing now. He's really generating a lot of torque. And this is something that I love to see. So this was an absolute slugfest against Sandy Alcantara, the reigning NL Cy Young Award winner. We absolutely destroyed him. 4 innings, 10 hits, 9 runs, all 9 were earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts, and we bump his ERA now up to 5.79. Hey, it was just an off night for Sandy. Of course, he's still a fantastic pitcher, goes without saying, but man, he got really knocked around in this one. There's no question about that. I mean, this was a rough game for the Miami Marlins, and of course, they rebound and win the next 2. Which I don't think any of us saw coming, unfortunately. But everybody was contributing. The only guy not to have a hit in our starting lineup was Cody Clemens, of course. I mean, a guy that's just been lousy. He was just another name that was thrown in the Gregory Soto trade with Nick Maton and Matt Vierling and Donnie Sands. He's just... I don't care that he's Roger Clemens' son. I really just don't care. He has done nothing. He's been very disappointing. It's really not that surprising, but everybody was contributing here. I mean, Nick Castellanos with 3 hits, of course, Trey Turner, the hit machine, with 3 hits, Kyle Schwarber with 2 hits. Everybody was contributing as the Phillies were able to push across 20 hits on the board and score 15 runs. Fantastic performance, and Matt Strawn, 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs allowed, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Fantastic. I really like this guy. He's done much better than I thought he would be. I thought he would be a good asset as like an opener starter sometimes, and he gave us 5 innings. I mean, that's a lot better than what an opener starter would give you. I really like the length we've been getting out of these guys, like Bailey Falter, Matt Strand. It's been very good. It's been very good. Much better than what we hoped for. And unfortunately, last night the Phillies would fall 8-4 to the Marlins. And at one point, it was a 1-run ball game. The Phillies were down 4-0, and then they made it 4-3, and then our bullpen allowed the Marlins to reclaim their lead in a more authoritative way. And I feel like this is a game that was in striking distance. It was in striking distance. We allow Arise to hit for the cycle. I mean, he had himself one heck of a day. He was fantastic. I mean, the first cycle of his career, of his very young career, he's a hard out to get. I tell you this right now, he is a hard guy to get out. The Phillies had their chances. I mean, they had their chances. Aaron Nola, though, 5 2/3, 9 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 6. I mean, the hanging breaking ball came back to bite him. And it seemed like when he allows a long ball, it really seems to hinder him. We've seen this in so many of his starts in years past. We really have seen that a lot. Andrew Bellotti, I mean, he's the one that just let the Marlins come right back in the game. An inning, 4 hits, 3 runs, all 3 are earned. I mean, just here you go. Come back and just make your lead even bigger. I mean, we make it a 1-run ball game, thinking we had a chance, and then we let it slip away again. I mean, Trey Turner with a rough 0 for 5 in this one. As I said, everybody's going to have an off night, but Kyle Schwarber going yard. I mean, his home runs usually come in bunches. Nick Castellanos, who's been really off to a good start this year, but again, we want to see that power. We want to see the ball go over the wall. We want to see a deep drive to left field by Castellanos. It's going to be a home run. Come on. We want to see it. We want to see it. Alec Boehm also, as I mentioned, him and Bryson Stott, I mean, they have just been off to such a hot start this year, and it's so great to see Phillies drafted guys, homegrown talent, succeed. And of course, they wouldn't be talent if they weren't succeeding, right? But we've seen it so many times in years past where we have drafted players and they have been very, very disappointing. I mean, Mickey Moniak, Cornelius Randolph, Spencer Howard on the mound, right? I mean, the list goes on. It's a pretty long list. Of course, Alec Boehm, a guy that, the Phillies were almost about to trade, right, prior to the 2022 season to the Oakland Athletics, if we all remember that. And I think we're very glad that they did not do that. And I think a lot of people are just like, oh, just trade him. I'm really glad they didn't do that. So this is a game that the Phillies could have won, but it's not as frustrating as today, as the Phillies end off this homestand with a 3-2 loss. With a 3-2 loss after they had a 2-1 lead. So another blown lead. Zach Wheeler looked pretty good in this one. Probably his best start of the year, but he still doesn't have like that fire. You know what I mean? He still doesn't have like that dominance feel. When I'm watching him pitch, I don't really get that vibe from him as much. I mean, I think he's going to just settle in. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run was earned, 3 walks and 6 strikeouts, a 4.02 ERA. I'm looking to see more fire out of him. I just am. Bryson Stott with another 2 hits. Trey Turner with another 2 hits. I mean, Bryson Stott hitting 420. 420. He has been on an absolute tear. And I just love to see it. He has just been fantastic. And the Phillies were down in this one early, and then Brandon Marsh hit an RBI single, and then Bryson Stott hit the go-ahead RBI double. And unfortunately, we allowed Jorge Soler, a guy that really struggled last year, to smoke a home run on a line drive to center field, but he already has 4 home runs here in the year. He's been off to a pretty hot start. And then we allowed Brian De La Cruz to hit that RBI single to right field. Of course, Nick Castellanos with a great throw from him out at second, but the damage was done by that point. The Phillies, with a runner on second as the home team in the bottom 10th inning, couldn't get it done as they lose. 3-2, lose the series to the wimpy, measly Marlins, as they now travel to Cincinnati for 4, and then Chicago White Sox for 3. So I'm disappointed. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it could have been a heck of a lot better. That was the intro. Wasn't bad, but could have been better. And you're right back where you were, a 500 homestand. You're right back where you were when you went into the series. 4 games under. Whether it's 1-5 or 4-8, you're still 4 games under 500. So no gain. There was no gain. There was nothing gained here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing. Very disappointing. So Bailey Falcher 640 tomorrow night. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Like this video. Comment on this video. Share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies Hot Stove Media, TikTok. Follow me on Twitter at Hot Stove Media. Call or text 267-225-3392. Email me phillieshotsmedia@gmail.com. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Luke, and I will talk to y'all later. Let's go Phillies. I'll see you guys.